I always wanted Ranch Hand Rescue to be a place of hope and a place of healing, not only for animals, but especially children. I wanted it to be about using animals in a mental health setting in an effort to really get to the root of severe trauma. I'm Bob Williams, the CEO of Ranch Hand Rescue. I started Ranch Hand Rescue in 2008. I wanted to be able to develop a program that was focused on trauma, that was designed for kids and adults that were stuck. I established a sanctuary for special needs animals because I believe with all my heart that all life is precious, that our children and our animals and our elderly can't take care of themselves, and we need to help them. The animals that I take are what I would call the throwaways, the ones that nobody wants, usually the animals that would be euthanized on the spot because they have been through such severe abuse or neglect that people don't see the value in them. And it's easier and more cost effective to just euthanize them. I believe that those animals are just as important as the ones that need to be fattened up on the rescue side. And somebody needed to be their voice. So I would always take those animals and try to do everything I can to restore them to good health.
When Bob gets them, it is just undeniable the horrors that these poor animals have gone through. And to bring them back to where once we can adopt them, our entire family can help in their continuing rehab. Because that's really what it is. These poor guys are just constantly in rehab. They have to understand that they are now safe. And it takes time and it takes work.
The value of Ranch Hand Rescue is huge in the picture of adding another critical piece to the puzzle of helping a child who has been through a dark and broken time in their life. Through the Advocacy Center, we surround the child with a lot of resources, whether it's the law enforcement doing their investigation, the interviewers who work for the center that are getting the story from the kids, the counselors, the CPS workers, the prosecution piece with the district attorney's office, the nurses doing the medical piece. There's a lot of people that have special gifts and talents. And Ranch Hand Rescue adds another critical piece for those children who have reached a wall, where our counselors have done the best they can and those kids just cannot get to that next level of being able to verbalize their story, their narrative in counseling.
When Bob brought me on as clinical director, we talked about what the vision was for the counseling center. And one thing that I really keyed in on was the vision for his sanctuary and the rescue, taking the worst of the worst and really taking a lot of those difficult cases that nobody else could take and to really rehabilitate and give them hope and new lives. And so we really wanted our counseling program to match that same vision. And so what we do is we want to be available here for the worst of the worst. A lot of those cases that maybe haven't been successful in traditional therapy, that have tried some other routes and have gotten stuck, or those cases that are so complex and difficult that really needs an all hands on deck kind of approach.
I was motivated and moved and impassioned to become a therapist through my own journey into recovery. And it was in my own journey into recovery that I discovered equine assisted therapy and animal assisted therapy. And out of all of the thousands of hours of counseling that I had in treatment, in aftercare, and on an individual basis, the counseling that meant the most to me and had the deepest impact was equine assisted therapy.
When you connect those kids with an animal that those children can identify with, and they see the animals have been hurt and have been broken, when they're able to connect with the therapist's help at Ranch Hand Rescue with those animals, amazing things happen, and those kids can overcome that obstacle because they identify with those animals.
The relationship that exists between the child and the animal is just absolutely unexplainable. Kids come to the ranch, they see these animals, they learn these animals' stories, and immediately there's a connection. And that's something that you can't really get in a traditional office setting.
Part of why this works is because they feel so safe with that horse, and there's this instant connection that often happens, and because that's there, their defenses have come down. They're not trying not to share. All of a sudden they want to connect, and they also want to go through the healing process. They also see the trauma our horses have been through, and so there's that immediate connection of, wow, this horse went through something terrible just like I did, and I bet if he can overcome this, so can I.
We know that some kids will tell an animal something before they'll tell an adult in a traditional office environment. And we also know that animals have a way of reaching people in a way that other people can't. And that's why we say it's people helping animals and animals helping people.
I work with children, especially little ones right now at the ranch, and some of them are really struggling with, nightmares and just being able to believe in themselves and be confident. And when they come to the ranch and they meet these animals and they learn their stories and they see that these animals have also been through trauma, through pain, and they have made it, it really gives them that drive to be better and to really be able to heal and be kids again.
They see the hurt, they see the brokenness. Those kids have it inside. The animals may have both the physical and the internal inside, the hurt, the non-trust. That's another bond, right? They lack trust. And so whenever those kids are able to connect with the animal and tell the animal their story with the therapist's help, that shame and guilt can be lifted right there from that child to really take them to the next level of healing. And that's what Ranch Hand Rescue as a partner with the Children's Advocacy Center does, is take those children over that wall, over that barrier so that they can see the light to get to the next stage of healing.
Just being in the presence of a large animal has an effect on us. It's like somebody with a charisma walking into a room. You've heard or experienced, that person that comes into a room and you kind of feel their presence. So there's like a field of presence with animals, and especially horses because they're so large and big. In this process, we work not only with the mind like we would and the emotions, but also the body, which is a fundamental element of why I think this works, and especially with trauma, because trauma can be stored in our bodies. So when we get our body moving and when we get our emotions involved and when we get our brain involved, it involves the whole human being.
There's nothing more traumatic than a child that's been physically or sexually abused, a woman that's been battered or abused. These are innocent victims. And I know that in my heart, I wanted to develop a program that truly would address those issues for people, children or adults that weren't responding.
I believe that all of us are here for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidence. There's no such thing as luck. Bob Williams and I met for a distinct reason, but we were also placed in our positions. And the fact that we've met and both have our own individual stories that we have shared with each other further brings that bond together about not just us and our individual work, but us together and what we can do together with your support, the community support, to help these children.
We hear a lot of really difficult stories, and we deal with a lot of really difficult cases. I have so much hope. I think that's kind of the key word here. I have so much hope, and I've seen change happen so much in some of the most difficult cases that that's what keeps me going every day. There's no way I could continue to do this job without my faith and without the hope that people can get better and that people can change.
To really help you understand and really capture what I'm talking about, I want to read you something that a parent wrote. It is one of many stories and testimonials that we get. And I'd like to read this to you to really help you see the power behind equine animal assisted counseling and what we do at Ranch Hand Rescue. Ranch Hand Rescue has been able to give my little girl her life back. My daughter looks forward to coming to Ranch Hand Rescue and feels brave enough to talk about her sexual abuse. She feels connected to the animals because she says they understand what she's been through since they were abused too. She tells me, "Mom, I get goosebumps when I..." She tells me, "Mom, I get goosebumps when I see how happy and strong those horses are after bad people have hurt them. I am going to be as strong as a horse one day."
You know, my passion is for families that need our help that can't afford it. I mean, the bottom line is there's all kinds of people that can pay for it, but there are many people that need our services that can't afford it. We want to provide those services for free. We must provide those services for free.
So what we need from this community is what the community continues to do. The community rallies every time we ask. Bob and I both know that. We need more. We have a waiting list of kids that are anxious and eager and need our help. We need help as far as volunteers. We need monthly donations. We need flat fee donations. We need the support of this community to make this more successful. We're going to take this and we're going to run with it, and it's going to be bigger and better, and we're going to continue to touch the hearts and lives of every child that needs it.
So moving forward, I would say we need to capitalize on the momentum that we've created here at Ranch Hand Rescue in the lives of the children of these wounded service members. And the only way to do that is for this message to get out and for the greatness that is Ranch Hand Rescue to get out into the community and really be able to touch people's hearts in a way that they feel compelled to not only give of their time and service, but also of their hard-earned money, because this is something that will make a positive change in the lives of these family members.
Whatever it is that you can do to help us spread our message, then we can help more people. And we can be even better partners to the organizations that we serve. And so today I humbly ask you to open your wallets and to help us, because we need it to help others.